y'all? Welcome to Katie's Insight, where I give my insight on all kinds of things. And right now we're going to continue talking about stimulus because we do have some movement. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going anywhere as always, but we have some movement. So first of all, I just decided, I don't know, and by the way, I never know the order I'm putting up these videos, but I just decided today is a pink hoodie day. So I'd always try to look a little bit nicer and a little bit more professional in these videos. But you know what? Not today. Today, it's a pink hoodie. It's pink fuzzy slippers and gray sweats kind of day. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling it, and I got body sprays on. That's what I'm going to do. I just want to smell good and feel comfortable today while I talk about horse crap, because that's exactly what it is when we talk about stimulus or we talk about politics at this point. So let's go ahead and let's dive in and see where we are at. But before we do, guys, if you could help me out, please help me in this channel and give me a big thumbs up. Like the video, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, and share our content. Also, guys, today we're giving away a $100 gift card. I'm so sorry. I was supposed to do it yesterday. I've had issues with filming and my schedule. So I'll make a video and it doesn't quite go up on YouTube when it's supposed to because YouTube is being slow. You guys know I've had tech issues. I've had different issues. So I should be announcing winners today, sometime in today's video. If not, it will be tomorrow, only because a part of me is like, is there going to be another issue with the video? So please forgive me, but I have 2 winners to be announced this week. So make sure and watch the videos from front to back to see if you won. And to be able to win a gift card, it's very simple. This is all you have to do. Like every video you see, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, share the content. Boom, you're entered, you're eligible. That's all you have to do. Make sure and do it for every video. And guys, the more comments you leave, the more times you share, the more chances you have to win. So if you comment 100 times more chance you have of winning. Yay, good luck. And it helps me build the channel. If you need more one-on-one help in your area with stimulus, come to our Facebook page, Katie's Insight, like the page. Go to the group. The group is called Katie's Corner. It will be changed to Katie's Insight soon. Ask all the stimulus questions you want. We have people for free in there who are offering to help you find stimulus money in your area. By the way, nobody's selling you anything. This is free. We're just all trying to help each other. I don't make any money from making this group or the Facebook because I'm not monetized on Facebook and I'm not uploading. We're just all trying to help each other. And we have awesome people in there that are trying to help. So, okay, let's go ahead and begin. So we know this week, the Congress has come back and they are back in session from their week off of Thanksgiving. They get a whole flipping week. Don't worry, they get months off to make about $200,000 a year minimum because they don't care about us. That's always what I feel like that should be my tagline and that should be my intro. Just that. And maybe I dub it over and then I take the pitches and I raise the pitches and make it harmonize and stuff. Make it sound heavenly with lights come on. I should do that. And then just stimulus, and underneath that, a big brown crap. Not an actual turd. I could, but I mean the word crap and brown dripping. Stop it, guys. Remember the diarrhea cake? Don't let me do this. Don't let me do this. How dare you? Stay professional. This is a professional setup with a sheet behind me and a pink hoodie and my straightener is right here. As always, you can't see it. It's out of frame. Okay, but I want to talk about stimulus. So where are we at? As you guys know, we're still fighting. We're fighting, Congress is fighting, everybody's fighting. We're fighting to stay alive, as we have to do, as we've always been doing at this point. But where is everybody else at, and what are they doing? So we got the Congress in Wisconsin. We have the Congress, and in the Congress with the Senate and the House, they can't get their crap together. At this point, we don't even know what majority is owned by the Senate when it comes to this, because the elections are still up in the air. That's a fun one, isn't it? It's a fun one, not fully knowing exactly what's going to go on. And I know everybody keeps saying, Trump lost, get over it. It's always funny. I hear this, Trump lost, get over it. I'm like, he's not my guy. I don't need to get over anything. What I want to make sure is that we have fair elections. And I always think it's funny. I'd say, let's not completely count him out yet. Ow, my chair just bit me. You guys didn't see it. The knobs not knobs. What is it? The arms. They will turn. And it turned on me. Bit my finger. Charlie bit my finger. So anyway, here's where we're at when it comes to stimulus. So we have the House and the Senate. And at least at the moment, the Senate is Republican controlled by the evil old Mitch McConnell, as we know, who doesn't want to help anybody. And then we have the House at the moment is controlled by the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, who wants to spend way too much money for all of her vanity stuff and not really to help us. None of these people really care about helping us. It's bad when the only person giving the appearance of caring is President Donald Trump. But Orange Man is always super bad. Not that he doesn't say and do stupid stuff. Obviously. I'm just saying, he's apparently the most evil of everybody. And yet he's the one actually doing the most to try to help us. So right now we have Mitch McConnell. And what I want to show you guys we have some information from Mitch. So if you watched my video yesterday, if you didn't go take a look, I did a video called Drunk Nancy Lying Again about our stimulus. And it's funny. Now, it is a little longer, so just a heads up. It's a good watch, though. It's a good watch because I break down. There are so many times in her press conference, she just lies and lies and lies. And I break down each one of them and we laugh because in some of them, she just sounds drunk. Like, for instance, she starts talking about the biggest lie that I love, this was my favorite, was some reporter asked her about the PPP money, right? The 130 billion or whatever that's left over there. And he was like, so why doesn't Trump take that and repurpose it to help with stimulus? And she's like, that's a good question. That's what we want to know because he can do that. And then she goes into this rambling speech about like Sandy Hook and George Floyd. Doesn't make any sense. Again, that's why I call her Drunk Nancy, because a lot of what she does, she'll go, well, you know what I mean? Come on. And why would they do this? Like, and just goes into these weird, she's almost like, I feel like watching Nancy Pelosi is watching an older version of me talk about stimulus. But at least I hope when I go into weird fun tangents like my straightener or my chair bit me, at least I'm entertaining about it, right? And I kind of have the cognitive sense. I know where I'm at in the room. You don't get that sense from Nancy. So please check that video out because that's a barrel of fun. Nance is a super barrel of fun. So when it comes to Nancy, when it comes to all this, I caught her lying, and here's where we're at. So there was nothing going on. Everything's at a standstill. There's no White House negotiations. Nobody's talking. Well, the Democrats have been screaming, the Republicans woke up with the Democrats, and they're right, Mitch McConnell is evil. But then here comes McConnell and Mnuchin swinging back. Mnuchin is getting $450 billion back from the Fed. Fantastic. Getting that money back to be able to give to Congress so we can make a deal. And all of a sudden, Mitch McConnell's like, I smell money. I'm here. Let's negotiate. Silence. Crickets. So, Nancy, this press conference happened like 1.5 weeks ago. I think it was 11 days ago. It's almost 2 weeks ago. Silence since Mitch and Mnuchin called her out. I love this because I think both sides, neither side right now wants to make a deal. None of them want to make a deal. They're all trying to wait to see who's actually going to win the election so they see how much leverage and pull they have, in my opinion. So nobody's actually wanting to make a deal. They're just all peacocking around like they do. I think if anybody does, I think Mnuchin actually is trying to help the American people. Out of all of these players, I do trust Mnuchin a little bit more than any of them. So here's where we're at. Mitch McConnell went on the floor and he started talking about stimulus. So what do you think he talked about? And he also kind of referred to Nancy a bit. So he's responding to some of what she's saying and what's going on. What do you think? Let's pick our craniums for a second. What do you think they talked about? Well, you don't have to think. Well, I mean, you can if you want. I'd rather not think if I don't have to, but I have the clip for you and then we're going to break it down. Take it away, Mitch.
First, Mr. President, as the Senate reconvenes this afternoon, I'm especially happy to welcome back our President Pro Tem, Senator Grassley, quarantined. Worked from home following his positive COVID test 2 weeks ago. We all predicted that if any member of the body had a stamina and a spirit to kick the virus to the curb, it would certainly be him. And sure enough, our colleague reports that he experienced no symptoms. His doctors have cleared him to come back to work, and we're sure glad to have him back. Chairman Grassley had to put his epic streak of consecutive votes temporarily on hold for the sake of other people. Of course, leadership and example setting are nothing new for the senior senator from Iowa. I'm confident our colleague will pick up exactly where he left off, resuming both his perfect attendance record and the tireless work for Iowans that it represents. We all benefit so very much from his leadership. So the Senate's back in session to finish up 2020. The American people are counting on us to finish strong. We need to reach agreement on federal government funding to avoid a lapse in basic programs and services. We need to finish the annual defense authorization to shore up the U.S. military's competitive advantage over our adversaries. And we need to continue processing well-qualified nominees for vacancies throughout the government, especially on the federal bench. These are important assignments, but they aren't the only things that Congress should get done before the end of the year. There's no reason, none, why we should not deliver another major pandemic relief package to help the American people through what seems poised to be the last chapters of this battle. This morning, we got yet another major sign of hope. More data appear to confirm that the vaccine developed by Moderna is more than 94% effective. They're going ahead and asking the FDA for emergency use authorization. Experts are calling this news absolutely remarkable. Alongside other promising vaccine developments from Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and others, is continued cause to suspect that victory over this pandemic is not far off. But a huge amount of work remains before us. If Operation Warp Speed remains on this historic trajectory, we need to continue investing in the system that will distribute these vaccines around our country. If we want the small businesses that have already hung on for most of the year to survive a few more months, we need a second round of the job-saving Paycheck Protection Program for the workers at the hardest hit establishments. Some major parts of the historic CARES Act have already run dry. Many others are set to expire at year's end. We Republicans have spent months trying to renew important help and provide even more. We tried to send more than $100 billion to help schools and welcome students and teachers safely to the classroom. We tried to implement common sense legal protections that universities and charities have been clamoring for. We've tried to pass all of this over and over again. But Speaker Pelosi and the Senate Democratic leader have blocked it. They've been very transparent about all this with their political strategies, laid it right out there. Speaker of the House spent the entire summer and the entire autumn literally gambling with the health and welfare of the American people. She gambled that if American families didn't get any more relief before the election, her party would expand its majority in the House and Democrats could continue demanding the right to remake all of society along far-left lines in exchange for passing any more COVID relief whatsoever. But their all-or-nothing obstruction backfired. Democrats did not pick up seats in the House, but instead appear to have lost seats. They have not gained any leverage. Instead, they have lost leverage. And in the meantime, with the coronavirus surging from coast to coast, the American people have gone entirely without any additional aid, even the least controversial, most bipartisan programs, because the Democrats say no. Here's a summary from one news outlet. Quote, Pelosi seems to have overplayed her hand as she held out for $2 trillion plus right up until the election. The results of the election, which saw Democrats lose seats in the House, appear to have significantly undercut her position. By now, it's abundantly clear to everyone that the Speaker will not be getting to fundamentally transform American society in a socialist direction in exchange for more bipartisan relief. The hostage-taking was never going to work. Now, there's only one remaining question for the Speaker and the Democratic leader, just one question. One question, Mr. President. Will they finally let Congress pass hundreds of billions of dollars of relief on all the subjects where we agree? Or will they continue to insist that either they get their entire ideological wish list or the American people get nothing at all? Even their fellow Democrats are increasingly seeing this as not a terribly difficult question to answer. For example, over the weekend, Professor Austin Goolsbee, who chaired the Council of Economic Advisors under President Obama, called on Democrats to finally play ball. Quote, here's what he said. There are a lot of people really hurting. I hope Congress can agree on something soon. If they have to accept half a loaf, then they have to accept half a loaf. Speaker Pelosi's number two, the House Democratic Majority Leader, feels the same way. Quote, I just hope that we can get agreement. It may not be everything that everybody wants, but at least some significant relief to people. Our distinguished Senate colleague from Illinois, the Democratic whip, said the same thing. Quote, get something done that is significant. Do what we can achieve Now, here's the headline from Newsweek. Democrats urge Pelosi to accept smaller stimulus package to ensure relief by the end of the year. Even the Speaker's own Democratic members are now openly campaigning for our Republican approach. Here's one of the Democratic congressmen who nearly lost his reelection after Speaker Pelosi's stonewalling. Quote, "We absolutely have to get something done. Mitch McConnell is talking about a bill we can actually pass. We should negotiate that to the finish." That's the House Democrats saying that the Senate Republican proposal is the template that can pass. Rank and file Democrats in both chambers are telling Speaker Pelosi and the Democratic leader to stop stonewalling and move forward with the approach Republicans have been urging for months. The American people need more help, and they need it right now. Right now. Democratic leaders have already burned through 3 months. 3 months. And they didn't even get the political results that their cynical strategy was supposed to deliver. So, Mr. President, let's hope our colleagues at the top of the Democratic Party can finally hear their own members and stop blocking the common sense, multi-hundred billion dollar measures that Republicans have been ready to deliver for months. Now, Mr. President, I move to proceed to executive session to consider calendar number 761.
Questions on the motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes.
All right, we heard what evil old Mitch has to say, but let's in detail break down exactly what he is saying. I got the transcript. I love that I figured out that there's transcripts from all these, not all these people, obviously. Some of them you don't, like some of the lower government players you don't get transcripts from, but people like McConnell and Pelosi, they have their own transcripts because they're really big deals. I drive a Dodge Stratus. Okay, here we go. If you guys don't know what that is, SNL, type in on YouTube sometime, I drive a Dodge Stratus. There's this skit, it's from the 90s. It's like Will Ferrell, I think Anna Gasteyer, and then you always have these two people acting like they're kids, and it's like mom and dad and the kids, and they're eating dinner, and it's real awkward, and they're banging on the dishes as they're like trying to eat dinner, and all of a sudden somebody tries to make a conversation. They all start screaming, but the dad always wins because he's like, I have a very important job, I drive a Dodge Stratus. And it just makes me so happy. Anyway, Dodge Stratus time. So, this is what he said. He said the Senate is back in session to finish up 2020. The American people are counting on us to finish strong. We need to reach agreements on federal government funding to avoid a lapse in basic programs and services. We need to finish the annual defense authorization to shore up the U.S. military's competitive advantage over our adversaries. And we need to continue processing well-qualified nominees for vaccines throughout the government, especially on the federal bench. Okay? These are important assignments, but they aren't the only things that Congress should get done before the end of the year. Do you think? There's no reason why we should not deliver another major pandemic relief package to help the American people through what seemed poised to be the last chapters of this battle. I think it's funny that he says that because I'm going to tell you right now, I think we've got at least a couple packages coming with how this is going. I wonder if this is, not that I want this to happen, not that I'm trying to speak it into existence, says my former New Ager self, but because let me just be really honest with this, and that I wonder if this is going to somewhat go throughout 2021, at least the spring or the summer. So I would say there's probably at least one more coming, but we'll have to wait and see. This morning, we got yet another major sign of hope. More data appear to confirm that the vaccine developed by Moderna is more than 94% effective. They are going ahead and asking the FDA to emergency use authorization. I want there to be things for us to be able to, obviously have ways of making sure that we're okay and being better and all of that. I will tell you, I get concerned. And I've said this, and it's either a video that's gone up or it will go up because of what are the long-term studies and effects. And I don't think we have that because this is so new. That's one thing I get concerned with. Just to kind of tell you. By the way, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't something. Just telling you my concerns. Somebody who's been through chronic health issues and had a foreign device in my body that did horrific things that they actually did have some long-term studies on, but they just hid all that from us. Made my life miserable. Thank you, Paragard IUD. So it says, experts are calling this news absolutely remarkable. Alongside other promised vaccine developments from Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and others, there is continued cause to suspect that victory over this pandemic is not far off. But a huge amount of work remains before us. If Operation Warp Speed remains the historic trajectory, that's for the vaccines, we need to continue investing in the system that will distribute these vaccines around the country. I think everybody's in agreement with that. If we want small businesses that have already hung on for most of the year to survive a few more months, we need a second round of job-saving paycheck protection program for the workers that are hardest hit in those establishments. Some major parts of the historic CARES Act have already run dry. Many others are set to expire at the year's end. Republicans have spent months trying to renew important help and provide even more. I'm sorry, listen to this. Can we just go over this? Listen. Republicans have spent months trying to renew important help and provide even more. No, you haven't. Quit it. I'm going to call Nancy out for lying. You is lying. No, you did not. You said, let's put a pause for months until like October. You're like, well, let's see what's going on. You were lying. Quit it, Mitch. Quit it. And then he says some major parts of the historic CARES Act have already run dry. Many others are set to expire at year's end. Well, yeah, you've known that. All the while you were saying, let's pause. McConnell said let's pause. And then you put those really stupid bills out there, the skinny bill and I call them the skinny bill and the bones bill. You put those out and you knew they weren't going to pass. You knew nothing was going to happen. Again, I feel like it's just peacocking. It's just peacocking to be like, well, I tried. This man drives me nuts. Nancy drives me nuts, but it's like at least a lot of times he's a straight shooter with how evil he is. But hearing this makes me mad because it's like, quit it. You trying to be Nancy now? Because I'll treat you like Nancy. I don't mind. I'll treat everybody equal. Don't lie. You Republicans have done jack squat for everybody. So he says, we tried to send more than $100 billion to help schools welcome students and teachers safely in the classroom. We've tried to implement common sense legal protections that universities and charities have been clamoring for. Republicans have tried to pass all of this over and over again, but Speaker Pelosi and the Senate Democratic leader have blocked it. And they have tried to pass a couple bills, but they knew those bills weren't going to pass. They knew the bills weren't going to pass. I think they did it intentionally just to say, well, see, I tried. So I don't really buy that. And it says they've been transparent with their strategy. The Speaker of the House spent, and this is funny, the entire summer and the autumn literally gambling with the health and welfare of the American people. So have you, Mitch. Guys, I feel like this whole thing we're watching is just a bunch of finger pointing. Well, and you know what? It's like, why don't you both hold up mirrors? Because that's where it's at this point. Pot, meat, kettle. That's both of you. What did you spend the entire summer and autumn doing, literally, Mitch? People were going to your house protesting, Mitch better have my money. And what did you do? Nothing. She gambled that if American families didn't get any more relief before the election, her party would expand its majority to the House, and Democrats could continue demanding the right to remake all of society along far left lines in exchange for passing any more virus relief whatsoever. I agree with him there. I agree. He says, but their all or nothing obstruction has backfired. And I agree. All I'm saying is, a lot of these points I agree with. I'm just saying, don't be a hypocrite. You haven't cared. You haven't done anything for people either. He says Democrats did not pick up the seats in the House, but instead appear to have lost seats. So up in the air, we'll wait and see. They have not gained any leverage, but instead lost leverage. And in the meantime, with the virus surging from coast to coast, the American people have gone entirely without any additional aid. Even the least controversial, most bipartisan programs on Democrats' say so. And that is correct. However, Mitch, we also don't have relief because none of you wanted to help us that much. You didn't even want to do anything in your bones bill for starving children. That's why I call you evil old, doesn't care about starving children, Mitch. I make sure the majority of the time I talk about that, I add that in there because I don't want people to forget. You are just as big a piece of crap as her. Maybe not as manipulative in many ways, but just as big a piece of crap. Oh, I hate these people, y'all. I've had people go, you should just talk about politics and be a political pundit. No, I'll lose my mind. I mean, I don't know, unless I can find ways just to giggle about this stuff gets depressing, y'all. Good, great. I have to smile and giggle through it and giggle while I call out their BS to make this entertaining for myself to just not lose it. So, Anyways, he says, here's a summary from the news outlet. Quote, Pelosi seems to have overplayed her hand as she held out the $2 trillion plus right up into the election. The results of the election, which saw Democrats lose seats in the House, appear to have significantly undercut her position. 1,000%. And now we might not get the big bill that we really need. Even Donald Trump said I'd be all for that $3.4 trillion if it was going to help the American people, but it's not. And you say, well, how can you say that? We got one round of stimulus checks at a $3.4 trillion. You telling me something doesn't smell wrong with that? By now, it's abundantly clear to everyone that the Senate will not be getting to fundamentally transform America's society in a socialist direction in exchange for more bipartisan relief. That hostage taking was never going to work. I can kind of agree with this, but at the same time, again, I've said this before. I am not a socialist, however, and I'm not a capitalist. However, here's what I am. I'm somebody that sees the good and the bad in both. So I always think it's funny when people go, oh, socialism is bad. I'm like, it's not bad because we have socialism in this country. I've lived in countries that do democratic socialism. If done right, it can be done amazingly. The whole concept is done right. And almost no part of government in this society is done right. It all gets out of balance somewhere. And when things get out of balance anytime in your life is where things become a problem. Is it a problem to drink water? No. Is it a problem if you drink too much water? Yeah, it's a problem if you do too much or too little of anything. And that's the whole point. You need a mix. You need a mix of a society where you can get ahead and be able to make money and thrive. And at the same time, we help the most vulnerable with socialistic programs. It's common sense. Why is it so hard to bring these people to common sense? Because they're evil people that don't care to help us. That's the conclusion I keep coming to, y'all. So let's keep going. There is only one remaining question for the Speaker and the Democrats' leader. One. He gets all dramatic. It's so funny. There's one ring. It reminds me of the, what was it called? The Ring? No, it's not. That's the Mean movie. The Mean movie. It's a horror movie. I think of horror movies as mean movies because they hurt my body because I have all those conditions and I can't handle the adrenaline spikes and the cortisol and all that. What's it called? The Lord of the Rings. One. Mordor. Okay. Will they finally let Congress pass hundreds of billions of dollars of relief on all subjects where we agree? Or will they continue to insist that they either get their entire ideological wish list or the American people get nothing at all? Even their fellow Democrats are increasingly seeing this is not a difficult question to answer. Over the weekend, Professor Austin Goolsbee, no idea who that is, who chaired the Council of Economic Advisors under President Obama, called on Democrats to finally play ball. Quote, there are a lot of people really hurting. I hope Congress can agree on something soon. If they have to accept half a loaf, then they should accept half a loaf. Well, let's just make sure, McConnell, that in that half a loaf, you're actually helping people. I think we'd be fine with half a loaf if you guys were all helping. Nobody wants to do multiple checks except the only one I've seen this is from is the Problem Solvers Caucus. Hey, y'all. Hey, big fans on this channel. We love your bill. They've wanted to do automatic stabilizers for more stimulus checks. And then as much as I don't like her, the Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, and Ed Markey policy. They wanted to do $2,000 a month retroactive since March, which I think would be fantastic and is what we need. Never going to pass. People are too evil to do it, but I think that's what we need. Speaker Pelosi's number 2, the House Democratic Majority Leader, feels the same way. Quote, I just hope that we can get an agreement. It may not be everything that everybody wants, but at least some significant relief to people. And at this point, guys, we're not going to have a deal pass until March or April. Really. I would think it would be a miracle if it were February. It'd probably be a stretch to even say March. We're not going to get anything passed anytime soon, and we're going to have some type of bridge in between there. So it says, our distinguished Senate colleagues from Illinois, the Democratic whip. I just think it's funny when they call him whip, and it makes me think of Family Guy. Cool whip. Said the same thing. Quote, get something done that is significant. Do what we can to achieve now. Here is the headline from Newsweek. Democrats urge Pelosi to accept smaller stimulus package to ensure relief by end of year. Even the Speaker's own House Democrat members are now openly campaigning for our Republican approach. Here is one Democratic congressman who nearly lost his election after Speaker Pelosi's stonewalling. Quote, we absolutely have to get something done. Mitch McConnell is talking about a bill we can pass. We should negotiate that and finish that. That's a House Democrat saying that the Senate Republican proposal is the template that can pass. Rank and filed. I like it when they always say rank and file. I don't know why it makes me giggle. I think military. Rank and file Democrats. In both chambers are telling Speaker Pelosi and the Democratic leader to stop stonewalling and move forward with the approach Republicans have been urging for months. The American people need more help and they need it now. Democratic leaders have already burned through 3 months and they didn't even get the political results that their cynical strategy was supposed to deliver. Let's hope our colleagues at the top of the Democratic Party can finally hear their own members and stop blocking the common sense, multi-hundred billion dollar measures that Republicans have already wanted to deliver for months. So, what does all this mean? Translation. It's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, I didn't do anything wrong. You did it. This is all it is. It's just a bunch of silly, not going to go anywhere, finger pointing, welcome to the government. So what we're seeing is a bunch of fighting that's going to get us nowhere, because this is where we're at. Now, we do have some bright spots. We're going to have some stuff from the Fed and the Treasury come out as well. We have more people talking coming up soon. Hopefully, we're going to have some more good news, some more traction forward. Unfortunately, y'all, I'm going to continue to say this. Don't hold your breaths. I hate telling you that because I want good things for all of us, but I'm also going to be realistic with you guys when it comes to the federal government. Now, one good thing that I do want to go over with you guys, the states are stepping up to help people. So all the states are starting to help up. So if you are interested, make sure and follow this channel and go to the Facebook group and the page, because we are trying to detail which states are giving out money and what you can get. And guys, I'm telling you, a lot of these states have to spend their CARES Act money by the end of the year. So it's very, very probable that you are going to get some money from your state coming up. It might not be much. It might be a one-time stimulus check or rent payment or help for on the unemployed, but it's something. And at this point, I think we'll take, like they said, we'll take something. We'll take half a loaf. We'll take the heel at this point, because Nancy Pelosi is running us into the ground, and Mitch McConnell, the evil old Mitch McConnell, is nowhere to step up and help either. Okay, guys, if you like this video, please help me out and give me a big old thumbs up. Like the video, subscribe, hit notifications so you can be notified what's in the pipeline for you and your stimulus money. Sound off in the comments. I'd love to hear everything you have to say. And guys, please share this content with anybody you know that's struggling right now. People who are on unemployment, waiting for unemployment, stimulus checks, SB loan and grant issues, everything in between, bill issues. I've got tons of tools and tons of resources to help you during this very difficult time, and I would love nothing more than to do just that. And guys, the more you like, subscribe, comment, notifications, share the content, the more my channel grows, the more things I can do to give back to you guys. So for instance, I'm doing a $100 gift card giveaway. Very simple. This is all you have to do to be eligible. Like every video you see, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, share the content, boom, you're entered, you're eligible. That's all you have to do. Make sure and do it for every video you see. And guys, fun new rule. The more comments you leave, the more chance you have of winning. If you leave 100 comments, 100 times more chance you're going to win. Yay, good luck. I will be announcing winners today. If I have some tech issue, they will go up tomorrow. So just make sure for that. And it's going to be somewhere in today or tomorrow's videos. So make sure and watch them all from front to back so you can see if you won. Also, if you need more individual stimulus help, find me on Facebook, Katie's Insight, like the page, join the group Katie's Corner. We'll be changed to Katie's Insight soon. We're helping people one-on-one find stimulus money in their area for free. We're just trying to help you guys in the best way that we can. Nobody's selling you anything. We're just all coming together. Like I said, I don't make anything off of Facebook. I don't invest anything in it because I can't right now. This is my baby that I'm trying to build up. And this is what you do with social media. Start with one and you expand, but we are trying to help people. So we're going to see if we can help you find money in your state. So make sure and go there. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to end it as I always do. I am so thankful for every single one of you. I'm so humbled for the position I get to be in and what you guys have allowed me to do and allowed me to achieve on this channel. Thank you so much. I am so insanely grateful to every single one of you, and I'm going to continue to work as hard as I can to help you guys and make sure that you have the best lives possible and that I help in any way I possibly can in your situations. So thank you for being a blessing to my life, and I want to be a blessing to yours. Okay, guys, take care, blessings, hugs, and kisses. Mwah! Bye!